Hey, 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 welcome to another character reveal production. This time it's the Supersonic reveal, you know what it is. We're here to review and talk about a movie, this case Sonic the Hedgehog. Once again, it is me, your host, Dom, aka Brother Dom, all over the internet. And once again, I am joined by the Supersonic, I'll use the joke again, Olive Garden loving co-host. Would you like to tell the people who it is that you are?
Don't forget, I also am a fan of Zillow.com, where you can search for apartments and houses. It's me, it's Stephanie, aka Captain Steph on Twitter, the Snowclear on Tumblr, and Hellstep on Instagram, and we're here to talk about Donut Lords and other important content.
Like the pretzel lady.
Yeah.
We're here to get into all of Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the theatrical release from 2020, for disambiguation purposes. I don't know.
Disambiguation?
Thank you. I don't know how to say that word. It's so weird. But we're here to talk about the Sonic movie, and we're going to get into all kinds of spoilers if you care about that kind of thing, opinions, thoughts, and yeah, let's chat a little bit about it.
We have lots of feelings.
We kind of got into it a little bit in our regular Geekly Reveal podcast, which you'll be hearing soon. It's kind of the non-spoiler version of it, just very quick highlights, but we're going to get into a lot of the stuff since kind of like Cats, there's a lot to talk about, but kind of like Detective Pikachu, it's fun and cool.
Yeah.
But, spoiler alert for our thoughts. You want to just give your general opinion of the movie before we get into it?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was... We talked about this a little on our regular weekly, but I would say, I would give it, a 6.5 out of 10. Not in, a percentage scale, like a grading, American school scale, but, just, a solid 2/3 of the way to a great movie.
Cool.
I quite had a good time.
That's kind of what I would say. Anybody knows me, I'm the resident Sonic fan, but also just in general a huge Sonic fan. I had a Sonic birthday cake when I was a child. Had a Sonic costume. I would get birthday cards and they would have Sonic on them. It was a whole thing. I could get into all my personal lore of why I love this character, but the first video game franchise I really fell in love with, and it's been 30 years of liking this character. That's cool. That's weird. Whatever. But honestly, I think I quite enjoyed the movie. I wouldn't say it's anything amazing. I'd give it 6, 7, leaning more towards 7. Very competent movie. The acting was good. It's the plot kind of okay. But I quite enjoyed it a lot. It's I wish there was a way to say, hey, this movie was alright, but I really enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not in a Room kind of way where it's no, this movie's bad and I like it. And not quite like a Scott Pilgrim where, no, this is great, but it might not be for everybody. This was a good kids movie that took some liberties from the franchise, but really gave it a spin. I liked it.
Yeah, I think, there were just, there were some writing things that were a little too easy, and, some lines that were, really not the best, could have spent some more time in workshop before they went to start animating this thing, I guess.
Yeah, so let's talk about something before we even get into it. There's some massively bad product placement in this movie, but not quite...
really ham-handed.
But not even, in the Deadpool way where they address it, so it's I think Rick and Morty does it too, where it's, hey, you know what? We're all in this capitalist hellscape. We got to make that money. We have to do it. But we're just going to look directly in the camera and say, hey, we're doing product placement. They're one step short of that without the self-awareness, and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a very uncanny valley of product placement. So the main character, who is not Sonic, James Marsden's character, is a cop who's always wanted to work for a big city police department because he wants to really help people and save lives in a way that he's never going to get to in Green Hills, Montana. And as soon as he gets the letter offering him a job at the San Francisco PD, he tells his girlfriend, she's yeah, and I've been looking up apartments in San Francisco on Zillow.com.
And it's just a shot of her laptop.
And, a 3-second long, too long though, just shot.
And it was weird to just look at it, we're gonna linger here?
Yep, we're gonna linger here.
And then at some other point they reference he's like, she says something to him. He's like, I don't even have any apps on my phone. Well, except for the Olive Garden app, you know, because when you're there, you're family. And it's like, that's, you know, the worst part about that kind of product placement is, though, is like, taken out of the context of the movie, that's something that you might hear in real life, you know? That's the kind of corny-ass jokes that two friends would make.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work in a movie, actually. Like, it almost was funny till it was like, wait a minute, no, you're doing that's an ad.
No, that's just an ad. Yeah, like, that was a little much. Like, and, like, if it had been... I think if they hadn't had the Zillow moment before that, it would have been more funny, and, like... Then at the end, when they give him the Olive Garden gift card, it would have been, like, a laugh.
Yeah, like, it's almost like that's a Family Guy joke without, like, the like, not saying that in a good or bad way, but it's like a very Family Guy type joke. But Family Guy, normally, since they're not caring about appeasing people, like, they would just be making that joke, and they wouldn't be getting money from Olive Garden, because they'd probably be talking about, like, oh man, you eat everything there, it's great, but then you get diarrhea, ha ha ha. Like, so they would just make the joke, and they'd be like, Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family, because we have unlimited postables. And they'd stare directly at the camera, and you'd be like, haha, I get it.
I'm so uncomfortable. Hello, thank you.
Yeah, but it was kind of bad, but I guess you gotta fund your movie in any way. But the thing that makes it weird, though, is that, like, that's so unrelated to Sonic. Like, at least when you're watching, like, a Transformers movie from Michael Bay, and they're like, product placement, like vehicles, or like, even beer, you're like, they're like, okay, beer fits with what Michael Bay does. But, like,
drinking that Corona constantly in the Fast and Furious movies.
Like, yeah, like, you know, like, that feels like a group of people that would be drinking Coronas. Like, the fact they do it so often, almost like it's become a meme. This just felt weird in a way that, like, I don't, like, what is going, like, even, like, a shoe company would have been fine. Like, they've done they did a shoe commercial in Sonic games before, like, soap shoes were a real thing, like, and that was part of Sonic's moveset in Sonic Adventure 2. Very weird. And they even had billboards in the game in fake San Francisco, which was kind of funny, but they also had fake billboards for, like, not real things, so it didn't feel as bad. Like, I think a lot of people didn't know soap shoes were a thing because it just looked like another fake product in that game. I had to look it up. Like, oh, those are real. Huh.
Like, the one thing that surprised me is that they did not do a product placement thing with the shoes. I thought the little girl didn't, like, take them out of a Puma box and like hand them to him. They
were just red shoes with a white stripe on them, and glad we didn't get advertised to, but weird to just, we're not going to have, like, a Nike or a Puma, or, like, we're not going to have anybody do a shoe. Okay.
No, alright, no shoe thing. Olive Garden, that's what we're going with?
You know what? Honestly, that may have been too far, because, like, that's part of the character. People may have been like, okay, like, we can't have Sonic wearing Nikes, like maybe they had some restraint. Because other than, I think they see some Corona in cans in the bar, but other than, like, that was at least like, okay, that it makes sense that there'd be product placement here. But other than that, it was like, they didn't do a lot of product placement, but the little bit they did was so over the top. They're like, what are you doing? Like, I don't even know what brand of truck he had. And they ripped it apart. Like, you'd think they'd be the Chevy Silverado. And nope, just, I tried to read the name just because, you know, your eyes. Like, focus on, I don't even know what brand it was. I feel like that's a weird thing to just not have, and I don't know. But, maybe we want to talk about the plot a tiny bit. It's a quick plot. Sonic is a little kid, so we see baby Sonic, which, he's adorable. They didn't linger on him long enough for it to become, like, a big meme, but they could have. He has, like, an owl mother figure, and she's like, yo, dog, stop learning fast, people are going to want to steal your power. I'm like, how are they going to do that? But whatever. He's like, no, it's fine, I just want to give you this flower, and it's like a Green Hill Zone flower with the points on it. It's really cute. And then what looked like echidnas, like, they were red and, like, looked like they had, like, dread-like kind of spines with masks on. I'm like, are these the echidnas? Like, is that what we're doing here? And they have spears and stuff and have, like, sort of like an old-timey kind of aesthetics. I'm like, it's probably, like, Knuckles type people. But they attack them like, yo. So she gives them the rings and says, hey, you can use these as a portal, which is weird because that's kind of a thing. But, like, I've never seen someone, like, throw a ring and it become, like, a portal ring.
It becomes a portal.
But portal rings are a thing in Sonic, so it's okay, cool. Like, whatever, fine. This is a new canon, who cares? And he leaves, and she's like, don't stop running. She's like, da-da-da. And presumably she dies, but maybe not. I don't know. She's a bird. She could probably fly away. But he leaves Green Hill Zone, which is beautiful and has the song Friends from Hyper Potions. Very great song. He goes to Green Hills, Montana, and, we just see a montage. Well, we don't see it. It's just 10 years later or something.
Just 10 years later, which makes me wonder, like, is Sonic like a 15-year-old? This whole movie?
Probably. His, like, the age that he's normally depicted as, like, 14.
Oh, right? I did not know that. I assumed Sonic was an adult hedgehog this whole time.
Nope. Sonic the Hedgehog is about 14, 15, or 16 in the games. Tails is about...
Wow, I don't love that.
Tails is about 8. Amy Rose is 12 or 13. Rouge is depicted as, like, 16 and can drive.
Well, she has to be older because she's got so many tits. She's got so much tit.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. And then Shadow is whatever age he's supposed to be plus 50. And Knuckles is like 16. Maybe Rouge is 17 or 18. I don't know. They should have made her 18 if they were going to make like a titty bat. But yeah, Sonic is not an adult. So now you know that thing. But he's depicted as a, kind of a kid, which makes sense that he acts childish or whatever. But yeah, he's hanging about in Green Hills, spying on the people, being lonely, which is depressing.
He can't talk to anyone.
Because he doesn't want people
sad.
to take his power, so he just kind of stalks Tom Wachowski, the local sheriff, and his wife, Maddie Wachowski.
They don't make it clear that they're married until like 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Yeah, when like
they call her like his partner.
Yeah,
I think earlier on.
I think someone at the end they refer to her as Mrs. And then her sister's like, "You should divorce that guy." It's like, oh, okay, cool.
You're like, oh, okay, that's.
I'm gonna put on my diversity hat here. Nice to see an interracial couple. Especially nice to see it as like a black woman in that interracial couple, and it's usually like a black guy with a white wife. It's nice to see that flipped around. So that's kind of cool. Anyway,
like my like pessimistic brain was like, yes, here's the most unlikely part of this movie about a space hedgehog with super speed powers. What is like a well-educated black woman doing in bumfuck Montana married to a white cop?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. The only thing I'll say about that is I think the only place that could occur is in like it happened in Crash. But like in a small town where he's like the sheriff of like getting cats out of trees and stuff like that. Like I think he points out that he doesn't really do anything.
Any cop stuff. That's why he wants to move to San Francisco so he can do real cop stuff, like stop
pull over minorities,
black kids or something.
Yeah, it's I don't know why it's his ambition. However, he does seem to want to help people, and it's in a kid's movie, like we can pretend like he's a good cop. But, like real life, the government is up to no good. So, I mean, it fits. Also, he doesn't really do a lot of cops. I think, what, if I'm going to be honest, you know why he's a cop, Steph? Just so he can have a speed radar gun. I feel like that's the exact reason.
Actually,
they needed somebody to have a speed radar gun. And, like, screw it. We'll just make him a cop. Because after that, he doesn't do any cop stuff in the entire movie. Other than one time he abuses his power, which is using his badge to get into a building that he's not supposed to be in. But it's like he's like, hey, we have somebody who's going to jump off that roof. Dark joke for a kid's movie. You need to let me up there. She's like, that's a Montana ID. He's like, yeah, we had to come all the way from Montana. She's like, yeah, okay. Like, wait, hold on. Like, Sonic goes through the paces, stuff you've seen in the trailer. He's playing baseball with himself. He gets lonely and just runs to fight off the existential crisis of being alone for really the last 10 years. He says to himself, as he's pretending to be a psychiatrist, that, oh yeah, maybe the loneliness is making you go crazy. Like, no, that's impossible. It's like, I don't know. He knocks the power out, and the government's like, man, we need to figure out what, like, this wasn't an EMP, like, that didn't happen. We need to figure this out, and we need a smart guy. And someone's like, dog,
please don't bring that guy.
Like, no, we're gonna, like, he's great at this stuff, and it's robotic. And you're like, okay. He says he has really good drone technology, which tracks. It's a good way to bring that back to the games. He does have a lot of autonomous robots, which You could make a claim that those are essentially drones. I wouldn't have thought of that, but his machines typically have drone tendencies and other technology. So that's kind of cool that they made him like a scientist with several PhDs. I think he has some PhDs in the games. He's at least a mechanical engineer and must be some sort of rock expert. He understands the Chaos Emeralds to some degree. So let's say he understands.
Geologist?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the word geologist. He's a rock man, not to be confused with Rockman, the alias of Mega Man. So Sonic's running away. He's like, yo, I gotta get out of here. There's robots swarming the forest. Let me go back to Tom's house. I've been stalking him, so I think that's safe. He's used his rings, and Tom thinks it's raccoons. So he shoots him with a tranq dart, which his wife told him not to do. But, he does it.
Cop's gonna shoot.
But that's why he's a good cop, because I'll just take the tranq dart. And he tranks Sonic, who falls over and drops his rings through a ring portal on top of San Francisco, because he saw San Francisco on Tom's shirt, which he later says was a skin-tight t-shirt. So it's, classic Sonic snark. He's like, bro, I gotta go to San Francisco and get my rings back. He's like, what? This doesn't make any sense. He's like, yeah, I'm a talking hedgehog. He's like, you don't look like one. And, he's an alien. So, whatever. We're going through the stuff. And Robotnik comes and basically destroys dude's house because he's trying to get Sonic. Because Sonic dropped a quill. And he's like, oh, ha. This has power. Shenanigans ensue. They go on their little cross-country trip. When I keep saying cross-country, they're going like a state over.
Yeah, they're going from I guess catty corner to Montana.
Yeah. So they point out that he's like, hey, you're so fast. Why can't you just go there yourself? Like, I don't know where I'm going. Like, I ran west, like you said, and I hit the ocean, so I don't know where I'm going. Which is kind of yeah, you just did that to be petty, my guy. Oh, I went straight left, and there was the fucking ocean, so... I appreciate that Sonic is a little dumb, because he doesn't know anything. He knows Flash comics, I guess. Actually, no, he knows a lot of pop culture stuff. He flosses twice, which
he does.
Which is weird, but no, that tracks for a kid. Like a kid would do that.
Which also means to me that someone he was watching in those 10 years he was in Green Hills was flossing.
Yeah, he either watched someone play Fortnite or floss. That tracks. I believe that. I completely believe that. He also knows who ZZ Top is. Because he recognizes the ZZ Top cover band. Beards. Yeah, and he's excited about how good their beards are, so... But I believe that people were listening to ZZ Top in Montana, so again, this all makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks. The thing that I don't understand is that were the children in the audience supposed to know who ZZ Top was? There was a whole bar fight scene.
Yeah, there's a bar fight scene. So
is this movie rated PG? I guess.
I don't.
For fantasy violence and some alcohol, some drinking.
It must be, because I think Jim Carrey as Robotnik does say, "Who the hell do you think you are?" So they do say hell at one point.
They do say hell. They almost say son of a bitch.
Yeah, which I think you can get away with that even in TVY 7, which I guess is probably PG. Yeah, Steven Universe is PG, so it's if people are getting hit with stuff and burnt up, they have to be PG, I guess.
Speaking of the bar fight scene, why in the fuck? I mean, there's some awesome
Quicksilver
Sonic
stuff
nonsense, in that scene. But why was James Marsden's character why did he order a beer? My guy, you're supposed to be the one driving away. You're a cop.
I thought about that too. I'm like, oh, you're just gonna get drunk. I think you can have a beer and still legally and safely drive. I didn't even think that.
But if you're on the fucking run, my guy.
I mean, if you're on the run, you shouldn't even be stopping at a bar. People point out that wait a minute, so you'd have time to just stop in a motel despite being a fucking national, apparently domestic terrorist.
Yeah, he just goes back to his life at the end. By the way,
Yeah, that's even if the government's we're gonna act like that didn't happen, people still saw the news. So
yeah,
so I don't know. Kids movie logic.
Are you gonna I don't know, man. It's just it's fucking Brian O'Connor all over again. How you get a job in law enforcement again, my guy? You keep running away.
I would say, people just agree that Sonic's a good guy and people saw you fight with him, but the government's no, there's no blue hedgehog. Let's pretend that's not real either. I'm just going to chalk it up to kids movie logic that you're not supposed to think about it, because I'm the kind of person, I try to say plot holes only matter if you spot them as you're watching the movie. So, like, it is an act. So, I always talk about the Matrix. Like, it's an actual plot hole in the Matrix that, I forget his name, like Cypher or Cyrus or something. The bald dude who, like, sells them out.
Mm-hmm. He sells them out for the steak.
Yeah, he goes into the Matrix, like, while everyone's sleeping, which they act like you're not able to go in without anybody or come out with any. Like, you need someone to, like, pull you out of the Matrix. So, if he was there, Tank says, yeah, I can, if looking at this code, I know everything that happens in the movie, in the Matrix. So you're like, so how did he go in the Matrix and come out without anybody knowing? It didn't seem like he waited for everyone to wake up, like, hey guys, I plugged myself in the Matrix, can you let me out? Like, they don't talk about how he did that. But while you're watching the movie, you don't really think about it because it's engaging. Like, it's more about what's going on, even though that like legitimately doesn't make any sense. Versus like, hey, how do you have time to stay at a hotel while you're on the run? Like, how did you just get your life like while you're watching? Like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. So I think those are the kind of plot holes. Like, hey, wait a minute, that's kind of weird, right? So, or like, hey, when Quicksilver saved Hawkeye, how come he was so fast he could take the bullet, but like not fast enough to like tackle him or like move him out of the way? Like, we've seen him outrun bullets before. This doesn't make any sense. Like, wait a minute, like, aren't you so fast you can beat that? And that's the kind of stuff like that sucks. That's the kind of stuff like, hey, this doesn't make any sense because you get it while you're watching it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's, you know, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. You know.
Yeah.
But I won't think
like it's like. Yet again, we fall into the hole of like movies that may not be great, but are very enjoyable to watch nevertheless.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that takes me out of it. We're like, oh, this writing's not that great. Like, it's not bad. We're really here for the Sonic adventure more than the what's going. Like, all the stuff pertaining to Sonic himself makes sense within a limited universe. You know, like he's an alien, he has these rings, he can run super fast. Okay, cool. There was some weird stuff in there that I'm like, that's not one of Sonic's powers. What else happens? They go on the cross trip. So, I mean, people have seen the trailer where they're in the bar. He rides a mechanical bull. He wants to make a bucket list. He wants to make a friend. He starts a bar fight. He wins the bar fight by being super fast. You've seen the Quicksilver scenes. They're cool. He does shenanigans. What else happens? They drive away and then they get into their car chase. You may have seen part of it in like a teaser, but like Robotnik's chasing them in a truck.
The car chase is like the bulk of the I feel like of the fight almost.
Yeah, like I think it was a good action scene though.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was basically the Batmobile from The Dark Knight, like like
just
Robotnik's
kept spitting out smaller.
Yeah, he's like chasing them in this big truck, like the command center he's been driving around, and he shoots out like some Eggmobile thing, and Sonic blows it up through some teamwork with Tom. It's pretty cool. Then that shoots out a smaller thing, and they fight that. I think Tom's like, no, I'll take care of this one. Sonic, you drive. Like, why don't we just have the fast guy do? Like, what? Okay.
The fast guy who doesn't need to, like, who can jump out of the car, hit the ground running, and then come back do it. Like,
but whatever, you know. They survive that, and then a little one, like, cuts off the roof of the car and is a little sticky bomb. And they eventually get the sticky bomb off, but it blows Sonic up. And he's like, I'm dead. And I'm like, this is like the scene when, like, Pikachu died in Detective Pikachu. Which I guess they were in production around the same time, so it's not really fair to say they ripped it off, but it's same kind of formula. I guess that's what they do instead of Detective Pikachu did the we're not friends anymore. This was the, they didn't do that. They didn't do the thing that all these cheesy movies do in the third act where they're like, we have to stop being friends a little bit because you betrayed me.
Yeah, it was like really ham-handed.
Like, Sonic did that. Like, he was mad. He's like, you don't care about anybody. Like, why are you leaving Green Hills? And, like, he's like, but we're still going to work together, though. Like, so at least it didn't stop him from... Like, it didn't disrupt the plot, I guess. But, luckily, Tom's wife is a vet. Cool.
Yeah, handy.
So she can, bring him back to life. Her sister, however, already does not like Tom. Is like, yo, you've been on the news as a fugitive. Oh, you got, like, this rat in my house. And she passes out, which is funny. But her daughter's like, hey, cool, Sonic. And after he gets brought back to life, she brings him some shoes. She's like, oh, man, your shoes are garbage. Your feet probably always hurt. And then she takes them off, and we see Sonic's feet. Because I guess this movie does know its audience, and someone probably wanted to see Sonic's feet, even if it's just, like, with bad socks. She gives him his trade, like... So up until this point, he's been using not his trademark shoes.
What's the phrase that you just said?
What's that?
That someone wanted to see Sonic's feet.
I'm sure someone wanted to see Sonic's feet.
Oh, no, I know.
And I think it was probably Polygon. They made a very big deal about not being able to see his feet in Sonic in Mario the Olympic Games, which I don't know why that happened, but you know what? We don't kink shame on this podcast, or any of our subsidiaries. But yeah, he gets his iconic shoes from a young black girl, which is pretty cool. We don't see what brand they're from. Nice restraint. What else? So they go to San Francisco, that's where the sister lives, and they go to the top of that building, like we said, by
the Transamerica building.
Yeah, which
gotta
also
get that little bit of product placement in there.
I didn't even see what it was, but yeah, good job. Because his bag of rings land on top. Also, they let Sonic drive there because they just don't give a shit about her sister's car.
They were like, don't you just, like, why the fucking...
I think, honestly, they probably just did that to be dicks.
That was, like, the weirdest, stupid thing that they did.
Like, why did we let the hedgehog drive? We made it, didn't we? Like, okay. Like,
okay, that, like, bad justification, that's, like... There's some correlation between that and, like, cool motive still murder. I don't know what it is, but...
It's just an outlandish thing to happen. Because then they put him like, man, her car's fucked up already. Who cares if it gets wrecked? Like, oh, they let Sonic drive. He did a surprisingly good job. Not good. Surprisingly good, though. They go to that building, which I assumed Sonic would just run up the building. He runs in and says, they won't let me in. Which, okay. I assumed he would just run up the side, but he doesn't.
Yeah, that also, like we said, the plot holes. There's some feelings.
And I looked at him like, I guess it looks kind of... No, he runs down it.
Yeah, later he runs down it.
Which, okay. But anyway. So apparently Robotnik got one of Sonic's quills from Tom's house, and he can use it to, like, harness the power.
Power his stuff.
Which, cool. Whatever. That's... If he has these powers that can be transferred, may as well let him do that. So spoiler alert, Tails does not need any... He also can fly as fast as Sonic runs, which has always been true, but he doesn't need any special powers to do it, so whatever. So anyway, they go to the top of the building, and they're like, cool, you got your rings, guess we part ways now, and Robotnik comes like, oh, no, which is, Jim Carrey's doing what he needs to do. And they surround Sonic and company with some egg bots, and Sonic's like, I don't know how to get you guys out of this the right way. So he pushes them off the roof.
Just knocks them off.
Just super nonchalantly, and you see them falling, he's like... So he goes into bullet time mode like he always does. He's like, oh, I can just get rid of these.
Just zaps all the
missiles,
like points them at each other.
And we see Robotnik's finger slowly moving towards a button, which we didn't see anything else moving in like slow time, which assuming he can't stop time, he's just moving super fast. Every movie that does bullet time does that, where some things are moving not at all, some things are moving kind of slow. Whatever. So he presses this button, and it supercharges his vehicle. So now he can fly as fast as...
So he's, like, moving at bullet time speed along with Sonic.
Yeah, which... Cool. Robotnik probably does not have the superpowers that Sonic has to be able to perceive anything that quickly, but again, it's a movie. No need to nitpick that. But he does have a flight suit on, which he gets mocked for that, which... The kind of snark you'd see in a Sonic property, and, that's...
Yeah. Quick pin.
Yeah, please.
Eggman and his assistant, they're married, right?
I don't know, like, I feel like...
like, very much similar energy to Ewan McGregor and his henchman's character in Birds of Prey. Like, gay energy is... To be clear, it's gay energy.
Yeah, possibly. I don't see him in the main cast. I don't know who he was. But yeah, this nice brown man is Robotnik's sidekick, and
it wasn't I didn't recognize his name in the credits, but I also didn't recognize Tika Sumpter's name, so that says nothing about me.
Maybe it's Lee Majdoub. Stone. Yeah, that was Stone. As a government agent, he's not like. He doesn't have a hyperlink on his name in Wikipedia, so they don't know who he is on Wikipedia, which is good job, Wikipedia. But, yeah, his name was Stone, and he has a great beard. Like, let's not skip the fact. This man had an amazing beard.
No, he has a good beard.
Good-looking dude, but he's Robotnik's teammate?
Like, henchman?
Yeah, so...
like, main henchman?
Yeah, like, he's the guy that does all the stuff that... Like, he's the main guy who works with Robotnik and, like, I guess is making sure that he can get stuff done. I mean, he's not nice to him. But, he's not nice to anybody, so it's fine. It doesn't feel... He's not like an Indian stereotype or anything either, which is even better. He's just some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be married. They are very cute. What else?
Like, they have, like, a very, like a kind of somewhat challenging, like, somewhat, I would say, like, abusive relationship, except for the part when he's like, I brought you a latte.
Yeah, just because.
I love your lattes! Of course I want a latte! It's like, okay.
I love how you make them. Like, which is very Jim Carrey performance, but also, like, it's very strange. I don't know. He seems to be... He's the most fond of that person, but he's not fond of people in general. He has a whole thing like, humans are bad, they're left up to chance, robots are better. In line with Robotnik's character, in line with his whole, like, fuck nature, like, machines are better, yada yada. Sonic realizes, oh shit, nothing's ever kept up with me before, this really fucked me up, so I can't save the people I pushed off the roof like I had planned. So he throws a ring, they go through that and land in, like, some hay in Green Hills, which, you know...
Which is convenient to, like, toss them right back where they started.
Yeah, very nice. So, you know, because they weren't taking any cars back.
Yeah, that would have taken way too long.
Yeah. So they go on their little chase that you may have seen from teasers throughout the world, and he's like, man, I can't get rid of this guy. He kicks up a sandstorm like in Egypt.
He fucking is like, don't run up the pyramid. That's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah, you're not allowed up there.
Right after you just fucking blew up the Sphinx, my guy.
Is that one of the 7 wonders of the world?
I don't know if it is, but, like, it's the Sphinx.
I mean, it's important.
It's still important. It's still, like, 20,000 years old.
Yeah, I think he's just, like, snarking at that point, because he shoots missiles at Sonic while he's on the pyramid.
Yeah.
But, like, from an angle where, like, it would only blow up the top, but it was weird. I don't know why he's so invested. But he does snark back at Sonic. He's like, oh, that was an illegal left turn you made. Just... Sonic's like, is that all you got? He's like, no, but thanks for asking. Like, they have a back and forth that feels like, yeah, you guys know about. Like, he felt more Eggman than Robotnik from the cartoons that maybe some Americans grew up on. But it felt in line with being Eggman. And Sonic just calls him Eggman just because, his stuff looks eggy. And eventually he does get a good hit on Sonic right before he goes back to Green Hills, I guess. And he comes to the portal and everyone's like, yo, you miss with one of us, you miss with all of us. He's like, that's fine, I have machines. Tom uses a ring and just starts punching him in the back of the head again. And he's like, no, Sonic's my friend. And Sonic's like, oh, the power of friendship. I have power up now. And he starts full cowling, using one for all. The same effect that Deku has. Does. And, you know, I get the fast characters have, like, a lightning around them, like Quicksilver does, Flash does. But it seems like he's like, you have something that belongs to me, and, like, the electricity goes to his quill. I'm like, does Sonic have lightning powers in this?
He, like, pulls it back with the lightning power. Except, does it?
Yeah, I think, I thought he just, like, neutralized it.
Okay, like, he pulled the power out of it kind of thing, more than...
Yeah, but that power goes back to it eventually. And he just... Yeah, I think he may have just shocked it, because it seems like Robotnik still has stuff going on. His machine just a little shocked. So Sonic just beats his ass, does like a bunch of hits, and then blows him up, like hits him one final hit. Knocks him through a new portal that goes to the mushroom planet that Sonic's been talking about the whole game, or whole show. And
yeah, so like the reason he's so eager to stay on Earth is because he's exhausted his supply of other worlds to travel to hide from the, like, echidnas or whatever. And the last planet he could possibly go to is the Mushroom Kingdom planet. Well, they say Mushroom Planet. They don't say Mushroom Kingdom, because that would be too loaded.
But, like, so the thing that threw me off, like, there's a Mushroom Hill Zone in Sonic. Like, there is a mushroom place on the floating island, but it's not that covered in mushrooms. There's, like, loops and stuff. Like, it would look like Green Hill Zone with big mushrooms. But this just had mushrooms everywhere. So I don't know if it's like, no, it's Mushroom Hill, but realistic. Like, I don't know if he's going to run into Knuckles while he's out there. Actually, that'd be great. That'd be a good way to tie that in. Like, hey, I ran into this guy and tricked him. Now I have the... Yeah, that's how he could get the Chaos Emeralds. That would actually make a lot of sense. And that's how he would get back. But whatever, they send Robotnik to the Mushroom Planet, and then they celebrate because the day is saved.
Yeah.
And
then there's a post-credit scene.
Yeah, so there's a... Yeah, so like, they make Sonic a little room. It's basically just his cave, but now it's in the place, and he gets along with her puppy and all that. And they do a pre-credit scene where, like, you see Robotnik on the Mushroom Planet. He shaves his head, because I guess he wants to keep shaving because his hair is getting in his face. But his mustache has got real big. Out. So, like, oh, now he looks like Dr. Robotnik from the games. It's full circle. And he's like, it's been so and so long. A lesser man would have died by now, but me, I'll be home by Christmas. And it's like, this movie was supposed to come out at Christmas, so that would have felt a little different. Like, oh, he means he's going to be right back. But for now, we're like, he's going to be back in like 6 months. And he has made a Wilson rock detective. He's made it Agent Stone. He's like, go on rock reconnaissance.
Which is like another joke. Like, are kids gonna get what that means? I don't know, but it's the pun is there. Good for you.
I laughed very much in the scene where they're in the hotel. My partner was like, "You're ridiculous," but Sonic's like, "I don't want to go to the mushroom planet to Tom," and Tom's like, "It won't be so bad. At least you won't be the only fun guy." And Sonic's like, "No, we don't do that here." And I'm like, "That's so good. I'm so happy they are making puns." So yeah, that's the movie. They're all happy. There's a character named Crazy Carl, which baggage to that, but he's like he's basically like the conspiracy guy in Gravity Falls, I guess. He's like, guys, there's a cryptid called the Blue Devil. He's fast, and everyone's like, no, you're crazy. That's not real. And he draws a picture of it. That's just Sonic. It's the Sonic picture, which nice touch.
Yeah, nice. Like the little the meme moments. The one thing I was not surprised that they didn't do it, but I was really hoping when Eggman was like, I'll be home, like, I've been here for such and such days. I was like, he could have said 69 days.
He could have. It would have been funny.
It was like 59 or something, and I was like, not so nice.
Not so nice.
But
Sonic said gotta go fast when he woke up at one point. I forget which time.
He did. It was because it was after he got, like, zapped somehow.
Okay.
Like, I can't remember when.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think... Oh, the smelling salts.
Yeah. When he gets woken up by Maddie, the veterinarian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no such thing as animal smelling salts, but I do have human smelling salts. What else? And then, yeah, we get the credits. It's like if you've ever seen Wreck-It Ralph, it's like they do a pixelated version of, like, the events of the movie in a degree. But it's a song sung by Wiz Khalifa and Lil Yachty and some other guys, which, not a bad song. I don't love it, but it's not bad. And then we get a post-credit scene where...
Yeah.
You see like a little young, little Tails, little Miles Tails Prower.
Little young Miles Prower.
Voiced by popping to Green Hills, Montana, actually. He shows up through a ring. He's like, I hope he's still here. And it's voiced by the person who's been voicing Tails for the last few years in the game. So that's
cool.
That's a weird touch. Because it's like, oh, so Sonic didn't get like his voice actor, but Tails
did. We needed a big name to voice the Blue Devil, but
but for Tails, we'll get the person who's been doing it. Yeah, Tails comes through. He has a little gadget that looks like one of his devices. He's like, I gotta find Sonic. Because I think he just was a Sonic fan in the games. That's why he started chasing him and just became his buddy. So that's the movie. Lots of fan service. I think at one point Sonic pulls out a map to show James Marsden like all the zones that he can go to, and the map of the world. It's like it's like a nod to one of the old Sonic games. I think like Sonic 1 on the Mega Drive or the Game Gear. It was just that picture, but in black and white, which was cool. One of the planets was just the Sega Saturn logo, which is a weird nod. Sonic only had Sonic R on that, and a port of Sonic 3D Blast, which was also on the Genesis. It's not like Sonic had a lot of games on the Sega Saturn.
And like they were going for the planet joke, which I can respect.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. Any other nods? There was just like lots of little things in there. They're like, oh, hey, if you're a Sonic fan, you'll get this. Like they referenced Hilltop Zone. They played some like the Sonic theme music if you know it. When Robotnik's chasing him down the building and he gets his ass beat and he hits the ground, like his rings are scattered, so it looks like he lost his rings. Like, haha. But I mean, it's a perfectly serviceable movie. It was fun. It was enjoyable. It was wholesome. Like in the traditional way. Like nothing was too crazy about it.
Yeah, it was a film. It was a decent film. I'll see the sequel.
Yeah,
make a sequel. Dump it in February again.
Yeah, I mean there's not a lot playing right now. There's like Birds of Prey and like some documentary or something is out. I forget. There's some other movie out, but like the theater.
1917 is still out. But...
So yeah, the theater we went to actually still had Knives Out like in its main lineup. But also they brought Parasite in 1917 back, like since it's like after the Oscars and stuff, since they did well.
Mm-hmm.
But also Bad Boys 3 is there, Fantasy Island is there, which like, oh yeah, that movie came out. Lots of stuff like that. Like, oh wow, I forgot that was out. I'm just gonna go see Sonic.
Yeah, I'm just here for the little blue hedgehog, my guys.
Yeah.
So
thought it was fun. I liked the ball that Sonic rolled up into. They made that look good. Tails looked really cute and adorable.
That looks so cute.
I can't think of anything too much else. Like, it's not like a whole lot to talk about. We just kind of like chit-chatted about it and stuff. Like,
yeah.
It's not like a particularly deep movie. I'm glad he has his shoes. I hope he gets to be more like confident and cocky rather than like kind of naive and just like
emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah, like let's get him to be the Sonic that we all know. But I like that there's a backstory because this isn't even like the Robotnik that we know just yet. So it's
next one is gonna be the big do.
Yeah, and if it's like a Sonic 2 idea, that'll like fit more with what people like. That's the game that everybody talks about liking is Sonic 2, and it'll make sense because then Sonic's like, oh no, like Eggman's like taking over the Mushroom Planet. Like we have to go save all the creatures there because he's like putting creatures into animals now. Did they? I feel like they referenced something about him and animals at some point, but maybe I'm just making that up in my head. But it perfectly fun. I don't know if they'll bring James Martin. They have to bring him back for the sequel, I guess. It made too much money.
Yeah, that or like have Sonic be like an additional like 10 years later and have Sonic be like living somewhere else as an adult hog.
I don't want that to happen. There's so much that will be uncomfortable about like old man Sonic. But that would be funny. I think they could have like the little daughter be like his companion if they need to have like a human person in it. There's lots they can do. I mean, with Tails, I don't know what they're going to do with him, but they can do it. I thought they were going to spend more time in San Francisco, because like Sonic Adventure 2 takes place in not San Francisco. I mean, there's like the Golden Gate Bridge that you like go down. You go down basically Mission Street at like for City Escape, like. Apparently the team went there before they made the game and they got really inspired, and that's why it takes place that way. So there's lots they can do, but it's got people saying Smash Cinematic Universe when, and
that's what I'm saying.
I'm totally down for that. I mean, again, don't want to just be like, capitalism, yay, but if it's gonna happen, can we like at least get some stuff that we're excited about? Like, I need to see Sonic running and save Pikachu from Galeem, like from Smash Ultimate. Give us the Star Fox movie. They're already furries. It's there. Pikachu's already exists.
Both space and furries.
Yeah, it's right there. We've established space. There's lots of planets. There's Pikachu, and we saw Charizard. And Pikachu's not with Red necessarily in Smash Bros, so it doesn't have to be like Ash's Pikachu. It could just be a Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds is right there. Can you imagine? Even if we just do the original 12, a Kirby movie would be so cute. Do you know anything about Kirby games?
Not even a tiny bit. I know that he has, like, vor power, basically.
So, yes.
I said that on purpose that way, I'm sorry.
Kirby sucks I mean, it is. He sucks people up and copies their power and stars them back out.
I say, there was no, like, non-icky way to say it.
Nope.
So I just went full bore.
Oddly enough, he's not named after Kirby Vacuums. He's named after like a lawyer from like Nintendo and HAL Studios. Just coincidence. But no, so Kirby games are very, very cute. They're designed to be super easy so a little kid can beat them. Actually, they're made by the same guy who makes Smash Bros, Masahiro Sakurai. And most of them you can't even die in a lot of the Kirby games, but they always are like, hey, look how adorable this is. Kirby just wants to get his food back. He just wants to be like get people's dreams back. And then there's like some eldritch abomination at the end. It's like, holy shit, like like some stuff that's disturbing to look at. Like, okay. Like one guy like shoots his tears at you, but they're blood. Like it's this, he's like a black mass with a big eyeball, and like you like just have to stab the eyeball. Meanwhile, you're still cute little Kirby. So that's the kind of stuff that's in Kirby media. But no, can you like just if we take what we have so far and just assume Ryan Reynolds would be our Pikachu, and we just make the original Smash Bros. Just 12 people, can you imagine how expensive that movie would be just to get the voice talent for like, I don't know who they want to do, but we've established all the Pokemon that we need.
Ryan Reynolds and like Ryan Reynolds and
like Ben Schwartz again. It'd be so much.
Although it's his exact same voice as Dewey, which is wild to me. Like
when he says "nailed it," I'm like, that's just Dewey.
Nailed it. Like
it's very good. It's very good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like cringy or anything. I'm tired of people saying cringy, but it was just fine. The audience was a little weird. There was a kid that like repeated every funny joke, and I'm like, "Yo, dog, what are you doing?" Like, I didn't do that when I was a kid. I know that I didn't do that when I was a kid.
I knew people who did that.
Yeah, but I just know that I didn't. So I knew, like, when I'm saying like, "Oh, that's dumb," it's not me just like making fun of kids. It's just me. I saw kids with their grandparents, not a lot of kids with their parents, but I also saw like people our age too. So it's a fun crowd. It was good. The internet enjoyed it. It's making a good bit of money, which is pay these animators have to crunch. That's bullshit. And then they got like fired right before Christmas. That's garbage. I wish.
Yeah, we hate that.
That's really bad. But I hope they get like the credit for. I don't know. I wish there was something like the Oscars could say like, hey, like your movie's not necessarily the best effects, but like the job you did in the series you did, like in the series of time you did, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything you want to say about this?
I don't think so. I think that about sums it all up.
Yeah, we found a way to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog movie for about 50 minutes. If you haven't seen the Sonic the Hedgehog OVA, I think it's available in a lot of places, but it's about an hour movie. I think it was a pilot for if Sonic was going to have an anime. The voices are going to be a little weird because I think, yeah, it's a lot of it's like on YouTube. I don't know if it's still Jaleel White voicing Sonic, but Tails' voice is real wild. There's a cat girlish woman in this. Her dad is the king. It's something that doesn't match with anything I've ever seen, but it's the one where Knuckles wears a cowboy hat, and Metal Sonic's in it. So it's ridiculous, but it's fun. It has good music. It's everything you would think about of Sonic, but it's actually pretty nifty. Go check that out if you can.
Give it a view.
Support all the people making the Sonic cartoons that we see like online now. I think man, I should remember that guy's name. But the director behind the Sonic shorts that we're getting, like the ones for Sonic Mania Adventures and like Sonic Team Racing, he was like consulted for like the Sonic redesign and stuff like that. People that made music for Sonic Mania, like some of their songs were like in the movie. So it really is a franchise that like admittedly has like a lot of problematic and annoying terrible fans, but there's also a lot of good fans that like have really into like transformative art. Like I know there's a lot of bad stuff out there, but between like the fan art, fanfic, fan games, fan songs, and just all the stuff about it and the memes, it's a really passionate fan base. And if you can get past the toxic elements, there's some really nice people there. So happy to be part of that community in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it. Sorry, I talked a lot during this one. It's kind of my franchise of choice.
No, it's cool. No, I bow to your respect on this issue.
Hey, thanks. I feel great.
Nice.
Let's close this out, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to hit the social media biz as per tradition?
Oh yeah, I hit it twice in one night. Dang. That's a real sexual way to talk about our social media biz.
I look. You know what? I may have put the ball on the tee, but I didn't tell you to hit it. The ball. Damn it. Help me. Somebody help, please.
I'm just gonna jump in. Oh god. So if you want to find us on the internet, you can find Dom talking about Sonic on any social media platform of your choice. Under the username BrotherDom. You can find me probably not talking about Sonic, but maybe talking about how Eggman and his assistant are married on Twitter, on Tumblr, or on Instagram at Captain Steph, at the Snow Queer, and at Hella Steph, respectively. You can follow our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, or any other podcast catcher of your choice. If it's possible to rate and review on that platform, please do. We would love that. Or you can listen to the podcast in the browser. That's characterreveal.simplecast.fm. You can follow us on Twitter at CharacterRev, not on Tumblr. We don't have a Tumblr. Don't listen to me. You can follow us on Facebook at Character Reveal and on Instagram at Character Reveal. You can support our Patreon by going to patreon.com/Character Reveal. And that might be it. Was that it? Did I go fast?
You went fast. You gotta go fast. Power of friendship saved us all. Yeah, we did it. We're here. Folks, thank you so much for listening to another episode of our show. I don't know if you have a name of the series for these like review casts. like calling it Universal reveal might not be right, but it's a character reveal production, and it's about Sonic. Thanks for listening to all the stuff we have. I hope your opinions match ours, or if they don't, you're not mad, because that would suck. But thanks so much for
know.
Yes,
Whatever
please do let us know.
Hit us up.
Engagement makes us feel good. I mean, people say that because
Busting makes me feel good.
It does.
Sorry.
The reboot. I'm just sad about the reboot. Thanks for rocking with us, everybody. Until next time, see you later.
Bye.
Oh man, Sonic the Ghostbuster.